PixelMC131 and welcome back to Behind the Blocks in Minecraft 1.10. And I've got another redstone contraption for you guys today. This may look somewhat familiar as it is, one of the standard armor stand swappers. These are all the rage at the moment apparently, which is a mechanism that allows you to basically put a bunch of armor stands in what's effectively a magazine, and then click a button and toggle the one that is shown, which allows you to have several sets of armor hidden away with only one displayed at a time. Now, I have seen a couple of methods, but I think the most popular one is MrCrayfish's one, and if you haven't seen MrCrayfish's one, I'll have a link to that in the description. It's very, very simple. It uses all the redstone is compressed into a one block wide space under the floor, and it's very, very smooth. It's very, very efficient, and it's very, very quick, I suppose, which also counts as efficient, but it's quite nice. However, I actually had a go at making my own one earlier today, and instead of using slime blocks, which MrCrayfish's one does, I actually used a different method, but I did end up using comparators and hoppers and droppers, and I thought, actually, I'm sure I can do better than this. So, I have a very, very cheap version of the armor stand swapper, and it does have a flaw, which is that it only has two slots, which is the visible one and the below deck one. So you can only display two pieces of armor, and I can show you this now. I've been staring at it for the past few minutes. So I've got an armor stand here with a piece of leather tunic on it. If I click the button, it'll get flicked out of the way and swap with an iron one, and then I can click it to swap back. And this only has the two slots at the moment, but it is very, very cheap, and I will show you how cheap by showing you all the workings in the background. So let me go and show you exactly how this works. And as always, here is our stripped back version of the exact same mechanism, and you can see that we have one armor stand on top here and one below. And if you start looking around here, you will notice that there are two usually expensive redstone mechanics that are missing. Slime in slime blocks and sticky pistons, and comparators. Neither of those are present here, and the whole aim of this was to be to use as little resources as possible, or at least as little expensive resources as possible. And in fact, the iron and redstone cost is fairly low anyway. So, I'll give you a quick rundown on how this works. Now, this is not the same as MrCrayfish's method. His uses like trapdoors and a slime block that bounces them up and down. This one's very different. It is using one of the translocator pistons down here to grab an armor stand from below, and before it does that, it kicks the one up here off to the side. So I can quickly show you how that works by clicking this button. So it kicks that one off to the side, and as it does so, extends this piston, so it sort of grabs this armor stand around the middle, and then when it retracts, it pulls it back up. So I'll show you that again. And while the armor stand is down, the armor stand that drops down into the water there is held out of the way by the piston until it then retracts and pulls this one back up. So it's definitely much easier to actually show you there than explain it. But I'll show you the redstone behind here. So when we click the button, what's happening is that we've got the wire comes down here and does two things. First of all, it extends this piston through this block and repeater here. And then it triggers a very short monostable circuit here, our very favorite piston facing up with sand on top, which triggers a very short pulse and is delivered to this piston here. And that basically kicks this armor stand off and then retracts it. Now the iron trapdoor here is an optional extra, and if you are pressed for resources, I mean, you can absolutely omit this. It was only an optional extra for like safety reasons, because you can't actually step through here while this is down. But when you press the button there, as you can see, it flips the trapdoor open so that you can actually have the armor stand slide through. It's not necessary at all. I just added it there to make it look a little neater. But you can absolutely get away without it. And the total cost for this in terms of redstone and iron, if we omit this trapdoor, then we require 3 pieces of iron, 1 in each of these pistons, right? And all of these pistons are regular pistons, they're not sticky pistons, so we don't need a single piece of slime. And then we require, I believe, 16 pieces of redstone dust. And then, stone and wood and other basic things, and then the armor stands. But the total cost of those materials, 3 iron ingots and 16 redstone dust, I think that's pretty efficient. So that is why this is the budget armor stand swapper. So you can see how this works now, and the next thing to do, obviously, is to show you guys how to build this. And here we go. This is the area that you're going to need to build this thing in. Now this one is designed to fit into a wall, and it slides the arm stands like back and left and up rather than MrCrayfish's one, which just goes straight up and down in a vertical line. But this is our wall, this is our floor, here is our behind the scenes area, and this is where the armor stands are going to stand. So we're going to grab all the blocks that we need in here, and this is literally it, as you can see. We're going to need some stained clay for our redstoning, and armor stands, of course, and then we're going to need button, redstone dust, redstone repeaters, pistons, a piece of sand, and then some blocks and some to hold the water bucket under there, a bucket of water, and a sign, and then the optional iron trapdoor if you so desire. So we're going to quickly grab most of these. Can probably grab almost all of them. We won't grab the armor stand yet, but we'll grab all of those that we need, and we'll set about building this. So, this is a reversible or flippable concept, which is kind of nice, so that you can actually have the button on the left or the right. I, for the sake of this one, have the button on the left, and if you want to swap it to the other side, you'll have to mirror the design, but I'll leave that up to you. So, we've got the button there, we're going to have a block there, and 2 blocks down here, I think. Oh yeah, 1 block up like that. We're going to make this V shape. Put redstone dust there, and then we're going to have, that's going to be our first repeater. Here is going to be our monostable circuit piston, and then our second repeater, and then 1, 2 redstone dust there, a final block in the corner there, so you can see we've always made a symmetrical U shape, and then our kicker piston is going to go there. Then we just want to knock that block out, because that's where the armor stands are going to drop down, and quickly run down here and swap out this green stained clay with a piston facing downwards, and that is where our armor stands are going to stand on top of. Alright, so let's fill in the redstone in the back here, which is like just about all the redstone that we need. Sand block on top of that piston, repeater there, and then dust in those locations. And there's one more repeater that we need to place, and that's going to be under this glass block there. And that's just in the corner parallel to this repeater, and we're going to stick it there, and then replace this glass block next to that piston with another piece of clay, like so. So that's going to extend that piston down there. So you can actually give this a quick test fire straight away just by hitting that button. And you should see that works absolutely perfectly. This piston does a quick extend, and this one does a sustained extend. Awesome. So that is all working. So that is actually the hardest bit. That's it. That's as simple as the redstone. Well, that's as complex as the redstone gets, rather. So now we're going to take this downward-facing piston. We're going to go 1, 2 blocks down, and then a third one, and that is going to be the base of our little water spout, our little water bath. Take out those 2 blocks up there, and now we're going to go 1, 2. In fact, I think we need this about 5 blocks wide like this, yeah. So we've got like a 3-block long pool in the middle here, and we're going to put our sign at the right-hand side. I'm just going to fill in the rest of this so that we've got a nice little 1-block wide pool. And they're going to put the water in the very corner over here, so it flows down through this 1 block and then stops here. And that is all the setup you need. Then all you need to do, of course, is go back into here, grab your armor stands, and of course if you're using the iron trapdoor, it just goes on the top of this block here. But we'll just omit that for the moment. Put your armor stand in, put it on whatever you want on it, and then click the button to slide it out. And then put the next one on, put whatever you want on it, and then it's all set. And you've got your little budget armor stand swapper. Only got 2 slots, but if you're doing a budget armor stand swapper, something tells me you're not going to need more than 2 sets of armor. So I think it's pretty nice. It's quite nice. I like watching it operate as well. It's quite fun. Now you can of course leave the workings visible if you really want, but if you want to do one of the prop ones, you can just fill in the wall spaces like that, and just cover everything that you don't want to be seen with blocks like that. I don't know. That's a bit messy, but cover it up as you wish, and that is actually all there is to it. Armor stand swapper. Let's actually grab some armor. Let's grab, you know, iron and gold pants. There we go. Iron helmet. Diamond pants. Diamond pants, not gold pants. And there we go. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you have enjoyed. If you liked, please do leave a like below. If you want to see more, then subscribe and stay tuned. And please direct all feedback to the comments below, and also any questions if you have any. But that is all from me today. So guys, I've been AxelMC131. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.